Well, looks like I'm live. It's been a while, everyone, since I've streamed on my own, apart from showcase streams and streams with other things as well. It's just been a while since I've streamed automation or anything really in general. Just give me a second here. I'm going to share this, and then we'll get moving on to well, making something. I don't even know what we're gonna make. Like, I haven't really thought about that yet. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Oh yeah, let me know if the volume and stuff is okay as well. Because it's been so long, I don't even remember what settings I used to use, so yeah, hopefully we can get it set up well. Also, the thumbnail is a bit of a unique one, and that is a bit of a deliberate choice. I just found it to be funny, and I didn't want to make a new... Um, oh no, where is it? There we go. I didn't want to make a new screenshot for it because I really like that picture, so I decided just to use it again. Anyway, so what should we make? Should we just get started on something and then kind of just go from there? I'm hoping to go for, I don't know, maybe 2 builds today, something like that. Like, usually my stream builds are questionable to say the least, but let's be real, my normal builds are questionable as well. There we go. Now the window's set up decently. Well, now that we're linked to the Discord, people should start coming in and we can keep going on. I've got some water, so hopefully my voice holds up, but yeah. Hello everybody. I see some suggestions in the chat. We've got stuff like V16s, we've got 70s muscle cars, and more V16 suggestions. One muscle build at least. Well, okay, let's just get started on something, and then we'll see where we go from there. Full shiny odd. Oh no, I don't want to go that far just yet. I will do a stream like that eventually, and I have done one sort of in a similar vein, but I don't know. I don't want to go too far just yet. Also, I don't want to steal his thunder. Like, obviously that is very much his thing. Classic mini wagon. We could do a muscle wagon. That could be interesting. We're in just before all the mods get disintegrated by the snap coming tomorrow. It's the Unreal 4 engine coming in, so should be some fun there as well. And we should be also starting with a new showcase soon, so that'll be good as well. So I haven't done anything from the 80s for a while. I was thinking 80s, and I saw that muscle suggestion, and then the wagon one also caught my eye, so maybe we'll do a muscle wagon of some kind. Probably not in the most classic of ways, but we've also got Beam, of course, so we may as well take it for a spin once we've got it made. 40 horsepower race car? Oh geez. So yeah, let me know what you think of that suggestion while I try and search for a wagon body that kind of fits what I'm going for. We're down into the late 70s. Ooh, that's pretty big right there. The bigger the better in this case. Make a skyline but not a skyline. Yeah, I think that might have already been done. Don't want to be copying here. Let's see. It's a bit weird to be streaming on a Monday evening, but I just felt like I haven't done it for a while, and I wasn't really sure what kind of video to make, so that's why we're here. You know, I haven't done the limo. Why don't we make a limo? Yeah, you know what? I kind of like this idea. Let's combine a few ideas together. We'll ditch the wagon idea, but we'll have the sort of the extended wheelbase. We're going limo, muscle, so it'll be a V8, and it's probably going to have some other characteristics that we can just kind of come up with along the way. Alright, so panel materials, it's going to be heavy, and it's going to need to be suitably heavy as well. Ladder frame, of course. Let me see, what else do we have in here? Chassis materials, probably just steel. We can just make this thing like mega cheap. Longitudinal engine, because of course. And then, so the front is probably going to be coils, and the back would have to be leafs, because this thing needs to somehow like keep itself up, and those are pretty much the strongest from what I can tell. Load capacity is the highest on leaf springs, but coil is also pretty good. Front wheel drive, we could go rear, we could go front. This could be a lot of different things. We could take that old Cadillac route and just make something just way too long. But anyways, well, we'll just skip the quality and stuff for now. We'll make a new engine for it too. Of course it's going to be a V8. We could go V16. I don't know if that would even... Oh, we can try and see if that'll fit. Oh, okay, never mind. So you can't fit a very large... As I say that, it's a 10.6 liter. And then you could turn this up as well and just kind of... I mean, you could potentially fit a 15 liter... Yeah, a 15 liter V16 in the limo, which would probably make somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 horsepower, just as a spoiler. So we could go pretty nuts, but maybe we'll do that in a bit. El Presidente limo. Oh, I like that idea a lot, actually. Thank you, Overlord, for that. So we have a bit of a theme on the Discord. I haven't done a face reveal yet, so to you, I am El Presidente. Just picture the guy from Tropico, even though I don't look anything like him. But anyway, so let's go for a big V8, because we live in excess, and I mean, we control oil resources. Let's go ahead and just make it massive. We'll turn down the stroke as well, because, I mean, oh, you know what? We want the displacement. The number is the only thing that really matters, and we're not going four-wheel drive either. It's going to be rear for sure. So that is a 9.6... Goodness, 9.6 liter V8, push rod, of course, cast iron, everything. This is the 80s, so we're not going to have the optimal tech for like insane performance, but we should be able to do something. We could actually go flat plane crank, but again, we'll just keep with the forged steel combination here. Carburetor, okay, I do appreciate that suggestion. We should probably go with a carburetor. So the internals and stuff, we do want to make some power, but we'll just go for the heavy stuff. And then no turbos, of course. There's no chance. So it'll be all down to the compression and cam profile tuning. And carburetors, let's put on 4-barrel twin. What about a 2-barrel triple carb with a race intake? Oh, maybe a performance intake. This isn't so much a cheap dictator car as it is I'm controlling all of the money and you don't even eat so that I can afford this car. That's pretty much a dictatorship in a nutshell. I mean, I've played enough Tropico to know. So the fuel in these places would not be good, but we'll just say regular leaded fuel, because of course it's got to be leaded. I love the triple carburetor, and I'm almost thinking that we should go quad. The only thing is it just looks a little bit too ridiculous, but the triple is like, that's classy, so we could definitely get away with that. Because of course in this logic, it's more about the look of it than the actual performance, and I do like justifying things with that, because like the engines in this game can look good, but sometimes I can't squeeze as much performance as I'd like out of them. But anyways, so we have a flat... Someone is suggesting making a flat plane crank V8, but I don't know. Every time I do that, everybody says it's like, that's not American enough, because that's too European. But, oh, you know what would be realistic for this? Probably cast headers. But we'll go tubular just to give it a bit better performance, because they make a huge difference on these engines, especially with such a large displacement. And we're going to want dual exhaust as well. And big exhaust as well. 100 mils is 4 inches, so that is very large. And I mean, people will want to know that we're coming. Oh goodness. So we have negative 2 horsepower at 5,000 RPM, with a huge knocking issue currently, where you're going to have to turn up this fuel mixture to make that work. And we're also going to need to oh wait, it's here. We're going to have to turn down the RPM limit 100%, otherwise this thing is not going to move. Low compression as well. because low compression does actually work pretty well, and that is 400, sorry, not 400, 380 horsepower, and we barely did anything. Yikes. That's actually working out a little bit better than I imagined. Please don't carburate the poor baby. It's a little too late for that. We've already gone triple carbs. How could we not? Buco meltdown? Oh, please no. Let's not get into that lore, okay? That's a bit too deep for me. So we have, I mean, we're doing well in terms of octane. Our efficiency is 9.6%, which leads to a well, we're not quite there yet, but we'll be able to see this thing's fuel economy. I can guarantee you it's not going to be good. Let me see what else can we do though. So we've got it tuned to the point that it's drivable, which is good. But we could also try and squeak out a bit more power. I'm thinking, like, we don't want to max power it, but I do want to get 400, so I'm just going to raise this until it hits 400, and then we'll put a little bit more RPM on it. But that's 400 horsepower, 668 newton meters, and a reasonably straight curve, so that's pretty decent. I think that's going to work out just fine for this. Oh yeah, welcome to all the new people joining. We've gone from 30 viewers to 67, so things are looking up. I think my record, it was probably a Saturday night or something, but the most people I've had watching was 300, which was nuts, so it's kind of okay to have a bit of a more chill stream. So 400 horsepower to start, we'll see how that goes. It's actually 400.1. That works for me. Now we have to pick a body for this thing. And we have the choice between this one, and we'll just kind of go through them. So I might have just DC'd there for a bit. Not sure what happened. Let me just refresh. Okay, back again. Thankfully, the stream is back up. I don't know what happened there. Like, it seems like my internet died for a second, but we seem to be good once I disconnected and reconnected again. Basically, I was saying, I don't know if you caught it or not, but we're going to be picking the four-door version of the limo, and yeah, that's what we're going to go with. Hopefully the stream doesn't die again like that. I have no idea what caused that, but we should be good to go now. Anyways, we got to do some paint, we got to do some fixtures, and then we got to try this thing and see if it actually works in Beam or not. I'm not even sure. Oh yeah, and we can totally use that thumbnail to our advantage as well. And back again. Goodness. As I try to say things like, I hope that doesn't happen again, it tends to just happen again. So, back once more. Hopefully that things work out for the better. Again, I have no idea why. This never happens unless I'm streaming. And even then, nothing's really changed since the last time I streamed, so we'll just have to hope for the best, hope things will actually work out. So I was looking for a decal, or not a decal, but a badge, and I realized pretty quickly that I was looking in the wrong place, as you may suspect. Basically, there's this small dog thing, and I just kind of want to use it. I believe it's in here. They don't make these very easy to see, but one of them is the thing that I'm looking for. I used it on the what was it? The leaded fuel car thing that I made last. There it is. That's the thumbnail right there. It's just one of these small dogs. So we'll definitely incorporate this into the design somewhere, just because why would we not? Drift limo? Okay, we're not going that far yet. So we need to paint this thing, of course. Somebody's suggesting gold paint. We could just go bright yellow. We could also go, I don't even know, like, there are basically unlimited color options because of the ability to control these sliders like this. So we could go for this and then go pearlescent. Now we have to think, like, the theme of this was initially to make sort of an El Presidente limo. So we could try doing something like that. I'm not sure though. I was thinking of potentially going for something a little bit more plain. Like I was just gonna go black, but black is just a little bit too easy. It's I don't know, like it's the obvious choice. So we could go black for a black limo, just very sleek. We could go yellow just to make it stand out like crazy. I guess it depends on what kind of dictatorship you're running in this case. And we totally didn't mess with the body at all either. I am pretty happy with the way that it is, but we could have modified some things. Didn't really think about that. Alright, I have an idea. Let's go for an accent color. Oh no, you know what? We need this to be somewhere in the longer range of things. And then that slightly sloped. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so what we're going to do, because we have options to color different pieces of the body. In this case, we have bumpers as well. So we're going to make these plastic black. Well, so we'll just go quickly like that. And then the actual color of the car, we'll end up repainting that again anyways. So we could probably get away with modifying this color to be some sort of like really bright yellow. Black or a gray is the best. Gray, same brand as the leaded fuel. I guess it kind of is, isn't it? Cyan, garlic bread. Okay, garlic bread is like not even possible. We could go garlic bread butter and make it a I don't even want to know what kind of color that would be. Maybe this? It's like a cream. So we could try, that's not quite silvery enough for my taste. That's basically just white. Like, we're just going to ignore how this is going to turn out in Beam, because oftentimes it'll never look the same. So we'll just go flake on none. Nice medium shine. That's actually pretty nice. If we change the top to be black, and we change the rest of the trim and the wheels and stuff to be black, we should be able to get away with this. I'm cool with that. So that's going to be the hood, and then we also have the underside we could paint like this. Oh, that is a little bit too gangster for me, but that is 100% an option. Okay, so we have the trim. The trim is currently white, but we can definitely go ahead and paint it black. That'll make it look just a little bit better. And then, I don't know, wheels are steel, plastic black. If we could do white walls, that would be sweet, but we can, I guess, kind of simulate them a little bit. So let's make our own color here quickly. So we'll go black wheels with barely any shine, and then we will sort of play around with the colors. That's not the right one. And then try the second one. No, that's just the interior. It's not quite what I was after. So this one should be it. Yeah, there we go. We can put our own crappy white walls on the side. Okay, and then on the back here, we'll just go ahead and do this black brakes, because I don't want them to stand out too much, because we might end up putting huge brakes on this car. And then as it has been suggested, we have cloth or leather. I'm going to go leather, but we want to change the color of it. So we can just go black leather color. It looks a little bit awkward. Black cloth. Is that even different? It does not appear to be much different. There we go. Like, we could just go for a pure black cloth or leather and just have a low shine on it. And that's it's definitely old, that's for sure. Make it beige. We kind of have the black theme going though, so I don't know if beige would really work. One thing I do want to do, or at least I want to consider doing, is changing the color of the wheels, because they seem to be a little bit dark. I don't know, maybe just a bit too dark. So we can kind of just mix them up a little bit and put, oh, thank you for the donation, the car thought. Um, he says, what's up, dude? I discovered your channel about a month ago. Love your content. I've already seen all your automation beam vids. Keep up the great work. Thank you for your donation. Appreciate it. Okay, I just undid my entire work there, as you may expect. Let's go ahead with this one. I wanted to paint that black, and then paint the outside wheels white. There we go. That's a little bit better. Somebody's saying make it longer. I think it's pretty much as long as it's going to get, unless you just want to stretch the body, which is an option, but we'll just leave it as is for now, I think. And then we'll go ahead with locking this thing on. It's kind of like the Rolls Royce, the flying, what is it called? I 100% forgot what it was called. I was going to say flying spur, but that's a car. That's not the name of the thing. At least I don't think it is. Either, oh, it's the Spirit of Ecstasy. Yeah, that's what it is. So yeah, you don't want anybody to steal that off of your car. I just discovered as well that the bulletproof panels, you know, we kind of do need that. I'm just discovering now that the leaf springs have kind of made this thing have a ridiculous ride height, so I kind of want to see, of course we're just going to go with auto as well, but I just want to skip ahead just a little bit to suspension. I'm just going to skip through this really quick just to see if we can lower that down. Oh yeah, and we're 100% going full bench seats everywhere for this, with the best of the best interior. But we'll get back to this stuff in a second. Okay, suspension-wise, just out of curiosity, yeah, that's as low as it's gonna go, which isn't ideal, but I guess it does need to go over some dirt roads. It's currently got off-road tires on it too, which is kind of funny, but anyway, let's continue on. So we're gonna do black accents on pretty much everything, but we'll have chrome as well. And we could also do like a mounted machine gun turret up here if we really wanted to. I mean, we don't have the budget for military vehicles after we buy this thing, so... What am I making? I'm making El Presidente's limo. So think Tropico, and then think what would that dictator drive. That's pretty much it. Alright, so let's do some fancy stuff with the lights. As it is the 80s, we do have a decent amount of options. I was thinking something like this would work out pretty nicely for us, just nice and easily put those on there. But we could get fancier than that. Now I had this aspiration of putting some sort of like piece here to sort of make them look like they're squinting almost. So I'm going to give that a shot, and if that doesn't work, then well, at least I tried. Oh, you know what we could do? We could simulate an assassination attempt. Somebody tried to take out El Presidente using the old Cybertruck technique. Oh, come on, go on the window. Apparently it does not want to go on the window, but you get the idea. Okay, so we can go with these, and then my thinking was I would just grab a piece of trim. Potentially one of these. Oh no, never mind, that's a little bit too thick. Usually whenever I'm doing a build, like for a video or something, I'll just sit there for, I don't know, 10 minutes a lot of the time, especially with headlights and such, and I'll just try different combinations of things until I'm satisfied with whatever I've created, and I usually don't say anything during that time, so it's always a little bit awkward when streaming to do the same sort of thing. So unfortunately it's kind of clipping, and it's kind of not looking as good as I imagined it would. Definitely the color's off there. You know what? I think it's probably wrong to use a trim piece like that for this idea. Maybe, one of the flat bumpers might actually work a bit better. No, that sticks out too much. Never mind, we'll come back to that later. Let's put a grill on it first. We'll try to complete the look, and then we'll move on to, I don't know, whatever else we need to do. There are quite a few things for this car. Oh, yeah, I didn't think that would be as good as it is, but my goodness, that is nearly perfect. So we'll move this up onto a secondary layer. This is looking very, very limo-esque right now, and we haven't really done much to it. Okay, I should probably read the chat a little bit. You really like the videos a lot. Yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate people who are watching. Like, my channel is growing quite a bit, and that's always cool to see. And lately, especially, that speedrunning video has been going kind of crazy, so yeah, thank you everybody for that. Okay, let's go ahead. Ooh, this is new. I do not remember having that before. I kind of just download mods whenever I see them, so sometimes I end up with things I did not know were there. Okay, we're gonna need some indicators here, but we won't have them chrome. They'll be whatever the bumper color is supposed to be. Yeah, I mean that kind of works just like that. We could have those blacked out, but I do like the look of them. It's too bad we can't do custom plates either. If we could make a plate that says El Presidente, that would be hilarious. Oh yeah, people are saying massive spoilers and stuff. I mean, that kind of isn't the idea of this build. We could potentially do that on something else. Maybe what I'll do is one serious build, one kind of just dumb build, and that'll be after this. And I mean, this build is only serious in some ways. Like, I mean, it looks kind of serious, but the premise is not. Either way, let's put some door handles on it before I forget. Then we're going to need to do exhaust as well. What's the most 80s limo door handle ever? Something like this? Or is that too carriagey for this thing? I'm always partial to the refrigerator door handles, but I do like the look of these ones quite a bit. Let's see what they look like on there. Oh, yes. Yikes. I don't know. Unsure. We left out the middle door, so we can just leave this and then duplicate it over on this side. Change it up a little bit. And maybe, I don't know, are these going to be suicide doors? I guess that would make kind of sense. And then they would open up this way. Yeah, that would work. Kind of works for me. We'll see what other options kind of come up though. And chrome, I don't know. I'll think about that as well. We'll come back to it. It needs a blower. Massive rectangles. Oh no. How is that supposed to be a limo? Do you not see the limo-ness in this? Do you see these driving around on the street every day? It is a limo. It's just a short limo. It's not a super long limo like you might see holding a bachelor party or something like that. Okay, let's go with some windshield wipers. I don't even know what would be period correct for this. Let's just put on some of these. Did you put a fuel cap? I'm not quite there yet, but I will eventually put a fuel cap on. These wipers are always a little bit tricky to place, especially because I kind of want them angled onto the windshield. And these ones not quite doing my bidding. Chrome wipers just kind of screams this car's aesthetic. And also them not really being able to cover the window either is just perfect. Like, this would only cover an area like this, and I mean the driver probably needs to see a bit more than that. Either way, that's pretty okay. There's kind of a chrome piece coming out of it though. Should probably try and fix that. That works for me. Seems like the limo is pretty against having anything on the actual windows, which is unfortunate. Not bad. Okay. So we've got some basic stuff. We don't have a fuel cap yet, so let me just add that before I forget. We'll just add one of these on the side, just like that. Easy enough. And then rear end. So we need to do some lights. We're going to need some exhaust. And then we'll come back and do a couple different details and some flourishes and stuff. Try and make it a little bit nicer. Please 2J swap a Mustang. Superchargers don't exist in this game, unfortunately. All right, so we've got the headlights down on the front. Like that is exactly what we needed. However, we need some equally square lights to go on the back. Obviously, these are the immediate go-to, but I don't know. They don't quite work in this section the way that I would want them to. We could get away with some weird stuff though. Potentially. Alright, so we have these lights down here. I do like these multicolored, like, lights that kind of, I don't know, these are just old. Like, you do see some cars with these around sometimes, but not very often anymore. Mostly because oftentimes they had to have individual bulbs. It's not LEDs like we have these days. So this was like luxury back in the day. So what we can do is we can put these like this. They curve a little bit too much on the end there. So we can maybe get away with that. I'm just experimenting at this point, but let's go ahead and change these to be red. Okay, maybe... Yeah, that works. And then these ones can also be red. And then looks like we have two pieces of... Yeah, so both those are unfortunately only going to be one color. That's not terrible, but it's not great. I'm going to get rid of that for now. Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, okay, you know what, that doesn't work either. 2000s Mustang lights, that doesn't really make any sense. What about something with a little bit less on it? Less is sometimes more, as they say. So my ideal situation is I want the brake light to be at the top, and then the reverse lights to be at the bottom. So I'm trying to find something that's sort of like that and then kind of adapt it to my own ideas. Like in this case, I can just take this red and then make it, or I take that orange and then make it red. And I can also take that color down there, potentially. No, unfortunately that one will not change. So that one is stuck being whatever dark color it's supposed to be. That's not terrible. It's not exactly what I would have hoped, but it's not bad. And this kind of works with the trunk as well, the trunk line. Oh boy, no, I just totally ruined it there. This game is like Indecisiveness Simulator 2020. Either way, we'll stick with that for now. Let's just build out the rest of the car, and then we'll come back to it. I've said that so many times at this point that we're probably not going to come back to everything. However, we do need to fit some bodies in the trunk of this car, so let's put a... Well, we have a lock on there, of course. We don't want people to get into it. Actually, you know what? I'm not a fan of that lock. Let's put on one of the other ones that we have here, like this one. Like this is a flush lock, so that kind of... It just looks a little bit better. And then probably going to want to... I don't know, is this the kind of lock that you push in and then the trunk opens? Because that would be a handle in itself. Let me see, though. Because we could totally put a fridge door lock on the... Fridge door handle on the back as well. Just like that. Maybe if I shrink this a little bit. It doesn't make total sense, but... It's again not the worst thing I've ever done. Let's get rid of that for now. We'll come back again to that later. Let's put a... Oh, you know what? Third brake light might be a challenge. So let's do exhaust first. I could use more of... I could actually use these, actually, and stack them up to make different taillights. And then license plates is something we're going to do as well. I just have to think about exactly where I want to put it. Like, classically, it would be on the bumper. Thankfully, the bumper on this car is actually built into the model, so that'll make it a bit easier for us. So one thing we gotta do, one thing we just have to do, I always seem to test out these whenever I'm building. Oh yeah, they stick out too far again on this car. It seems like they're for a very specific application. However, these ones I've used last time actually on that one car, and they work out super well because they come right to the end of the body. So what I want, my ideal situation for exhaust, put the fuel door on the back. I could do that. Bodies might slow the car down, yes, but you don't really have to go that far. Like, none of the towns you make in Tropico ever come out to be, like, massive. Okay, so this is the sort of downturn that I was hoping for. So I want to do two of those, and then they can't be... I mean, chrome exhaust, that does make sense. We'll paint that dark on the inside, and... Oh, oh no, never mind, they stick out way too much. Oh, come on, you gotta have something that doesn't stick out that much. Oh, goodness. What have I done? Oh, oh no. I did not, I did not anticipate this being a meme car, but I really like this. It's kind of an issue. That is so good for a dragster or something like that. We could totally turn this limo into a dragster at some point, but I wanted these to be in a little bit more. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to use them. Oh, so many exhaust options, so little time. We don't have any mufflers, but I haven't actually used this muffler before. Just never found a use for it. Hmm. Alright, you know what? Let's just use the basic stuff. We won't go for the full twist around or the other combinations of things that we could do. This by itself sticks out too much, so you know what? We'll just go with that other piece. These are going to be fine. We'll just have to sort of fake them in a little bit, which is totally doable, so yeah. Okay, so here's what we can do to make this look a little bit nicer. Drop down like that, they don't look too bad. I just feel like they stick out a little bit too much. Oh no. And they should definitely be chrome as well. Can we get some rust on a few metal parts? We definitely could. It's taken me like 5 minutes to put exhaust on it, but I have to be satisfied. So the reason they stick out so much is because of the bumper, even though I said that was a good thing last time. Okay, so we'll keep these lights in mind as well. But what I'm going to do, because the taillights just aren't working for me, we're going to use some headlights in a taillight place. We could just kind of make our own thing here. Well, it looks like the front is on the back, which is exactly what's happened. Even if we turn those... Oh, wow. It's like a reuse of parts. They just changed the lenses and put them on the back. Unsure about that one. We could also just stack up these as well. Evidently, all of these things are supposed to be headlights. Oh, I definitely have used those before at some point. Okay, let me see what other kind of square options we have. Or just rectangular in nature. These? No, those are definitely geared to be headlights. You know what's always a good option? We could just kind of ignore the trunk line a little bit and go for that wraparound light style, so it's like a big U shape. I do see your call for side exit exhaust, but I'm not even sure, like, unfortunately you can't really angle them unless you get the specific part that does it, so it would end up not looking that great, I mean. Like here's an example of what it would look like if it was side exit. But I already did this on one of my previous builds, so I was kind of hoping to avoid it. So say we got this exhaust piece right here. It would kind of look like that. Potentially flipped around. Oh, never mind, not that way. Or that way. So something like that would be side exit. Or like this. As awkward as that is. There we go. I mean, these do look good, but yeah, let me know what you think. That or the other option. I'll just leave those on there. Goodness, stream went down again, but we are back up once more. Unfortunate that it keeps going down like that, but thankfully this time it did also, well, it actually came back is what I'm trying to say. Thank goodness for that. So people are saying, I see a rear exit vote. What else do we have? Oh, F's for sure. Okay, let's give those taillights a try. We're gonna end up spending like 2 hours on one vehicle. If that happens, I'm not like opposed to that. That could be fun. What are we making here? Well, we are making it's a limo driven by El Presidente. And I'm seeing some votes for the rear exit exhaust instead of the side exit. So it's a good thing I remembered which one that is. It is this one here. Basically, I'm going to end up changing the thumbnail and stuff to reflect what actually happens when this VOD goes up. At least if I have time to. Okay, so let's give those taillights a try, and we'll see if we can kind of make this thing work. Oh boy, they can be complicated though. They're not exactly easy to do. So let's take these pieces, and we will just red them completely out. That red actually doesn't look good in Beam from what I remember, so even though it's the nicest one, yikes, in Automation, I tend to think it doesn't come out nicely in Beam. So we'll put these here. Just like that. Oh yes, I'm liking the way this is coming out. So we can go chrome, and I do support the chrome ways. However, I feel like we need to just extend these out just a little bit. We'll get rid of these for now. Just extend, and then duplicate, and then shrink these ones to make them fit. Maybe not that much. Oh, this is very precise. There we go. What do you think of that? I kind of like the idea of having just massive taillights on the back. Might just be me though. It kind of has a presence to it. Like it definitely it says that somebody important has arrived, pretty much. And we could go for a less like a slightly less busy version as well. This is just a preliminary design choice. But what I was thinking was we can swap this to be white, and then we can take this color and swap it to be orange, so we do actually have a signal. So it's not just one big bar of red, it's a signal and light on the back. What car are you making? We're making a limo to be driven by El Presidente. So we could go 2, as somebody's suggesting, but then kind of the colors don't work out as well as I would want. We could just go without these and just kind of have those there, but I'm kind of a fan of this. Another option is that we could take these, flip them around, and then just kind of work them into that. Oh man. Okay, hold up. Okay, let's just duplicate these for a second. Do the old flip. Work them into this piece here. that is very interesting, having brake lights all the way at the top. Okay, if we shrink this down in size, this might come out a little bit more realistically. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, I see your suggestion for a U-shape, Goofy. What do you think about this? Yeah, I always stream on YouTube. Like I haven't actually streamed on Twitch at all. I think I did maybe once a long time ago playing Hearthstone, but that was like well before my channel sort of gained traction, gained any popularity. That looks horrendous. Oh, yes. Well, who said it had to be beautiful? We'll just kind of assume that the trunk line is different now. It kind of comes over this way, and then I don't know. The lock is there. Let's let's stick to the unique designs. I kind of like making things a bit different. Now we could go. Oh wow. We don't want an inset plate, but we do want to have a plate. Oh, great. That's not working out exactly as I would have anticipated. That is the problem with these built-in bumpers. They too tend to break different license plate fixtures. And in this case, it's 100% not going to work for any of them that are just by themselves. So we're going to have to do some testing. Ooh, that's not bad. That actually works out pretty well. Oh, yeah, actually, we could get away with that. What about... So that's just the basic one. We could go for a white one as well. There we go. I don't know what this plate represents, and we cannot change it. We could also... What color is this changing? Oh, it's changing the back color. So yeah, we definitely need it to be the bumper color. That'll just make it fit in just fine. Definitely a unique look to this car. No doubt about that. It is kind of a Lincoln now, isn't it? It's a very weird looking Lincoln. I still want to do the like broken, shattered piece on it, but well, we're not there yet. Okay, let's put some little cutouts here for the exhaust, and still continue to pray that this stream doesn't go down again. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna mirror these and then shrink them a lot. It just adds just a little bit extra, I find, whenever I'm doing one of these builds. So we'll just have a tiny cutout, and we'll put the exhaust in there, and we'll make this body colored so it blends in. There we go. Just like that. I like it kind of like nice and close to the body. It looks a little bit nicer. Old UK plate. I guess that does kind of work considering these were British colonized states. Okay, so let's we need some antennas. That's pretty important now, isn't it? That's a mud flap. Okay, we're not going to put mud flaps on the car. Whoever made the mud flap mod really should rotate them so you can actually see them. Because I thought those were antennas for the longest time, and I just made that mistake again. Apparently I'm not learning. Either way, let's go to the actual antennas, and let's put something on here. Now this is some presidential stuff right here. Oh wait, it's way too long. Okay, apparently you can't shrink that by itself, so we'll just have to kind of come up with something else. We can probably chrome one of these out and make it work for us. This is like airport limo extraordinaire now. So let's wait. There's no customization on these. What about this one? Okay, there we go. We can customize this. So let's just chrome the heck out of it. Make it maybe a little bit bigger. It doesn't quite look right. Wow, this is getting more and more awkward as we move forward. It's like having a shark fin on the back. Yeah, that's not quite what I was going for. Too big rear antenna? Yeah, that's basically what I was thinking. Problem is these ones are down instead of up. We could have them like this. Oh, you know what we need? Goodness, I can't believe we didn't think about this before. Why don't we put the big antenna here with flags on them? Or we could have at least the potential for flags. We need some sort of way to announce the arrival of this dictatorship. There we go. Oh no, that's clipping through the body. Rip, 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 rip. There we go. And that is still clipping through the body. Okay, let me just put them up here then. Shrink it down just a little bit. Now if we could put flags on these, I definitely would, but I know we can't, so we'll just leave them chrome. But yeah, we absolutely need that. This is a motorcade now. Let's put these on the sides, big ones out this back like this. Oh yes, the Presidente has arrived. El Presidente, the one and only. Alright, so here we go then. So we've got the lights in, and I kind of messed up the coloring of them now, somehow, because I did want them to be, no, not that one. That one is supposed to be white, and then this one is supposed to be orange. There we go. So that's the color we're going for. Reverse light's in the middle. And then we can try and put a reverse light in the back of the convertible top as well for, oh, there it is. Yeah, apparently, oh, there we go. So we can put that on there, as massive as it currently is. Oh, you know what we need, though? That's just simply not going to work. We've got to put a... Like, back in these days, they didn't have the tech to do that. So what they would do is put a scoop here, and then the light would actually just go off of the scoop. So if we can sort of fake that in, we might be able to do something interesting. This is like this is a lot of effort for just a small detail, but if we had something like this, just like that, then that's where the light would go, theoretically speaking. The car looks white, but it is actually gray, and you can kind of see that in the fixtures. They look a lot more gray than the actual car does. Not sure what's happening there. Okay, so if I go to just a regular indicator, we might, just might, be able to squeeze it in. Maybe. It's always a maybe. So what we might be able to do is just open this one up. No, it looks like we probably can't. Yeah, I was hoping to maybe just make it so it sort of looks that color. There's a lot of red on the back of this car. This thing is bright, to say the least. There we go. Small details, why not? Okay, so what other things are we missing? We've got suicide doors. Oh yeah, no, we have not touched the rims yet. We need some classic rims for this. They definitely need to be classy, but not necessarily period correct. They can just kind of be whatever we want. Now, the idea is we could just go for basic stuff. We could go for the fake bulletproof tires on there. Hubcaps, I don't know, a lot of options. It's gonna fold like a paper tube in a crash. See, that's the thing, the driver never crashes. Or at least we can assume so. I'm actually kind of interested to see how it does end up looking in a crash. This limo body I've never tested before, so I'm interested again. Oh, those are suitably fancy. So are these mirrors. Yeah, we definitely need mirrors too. That's a good point. Flame decals, mesh. Mesh where? Mirrors are a good point though. I definitely can't forget about that. We also obviously I didn't delete the gas cap. It's still here. But we're definitely going to need to do some decals too. Got to keep up with the brand imaging here. And yeah, I definitely want to do mesh rims. I'm just trying to pick which ones. There are quite a few. Goodness, down again for a second? Yeah. Goodness, thank you for the F's in chat. Now that we're back again, we will continue on. I will definitely have to figure out what is causing this issue before any showcase streams, but I'm going to go ahead and go with these wheels. We're not done yet, though. It's only been an hour. I do want to go for at least 2, and then I've got to start working on some other projects coming up. Wow, that is a lot of F's there, Colin. It's not that bad. I'm back again. What happened? My internet died. It keeps dying over and over, not 100% sure why. Let's put those rims on before we forget, and then maybe a side trim piece? Yeah, I keep having internet issues in the most inopportune moments, unfortunately. Not much I can do about it. I just have to continue to apologize at this point. 1950s mirrors? Oh, we could put them way out here, couldn't we? These are probably totally useless, but they're just kind of cool. Okay, those are not quite the right shape to go out there, but I definitely want to put rims, not rims, mirrors out there. So we've got 60s rims. I mean, mirrors, goodness, mixing up mirrors and rims is an odd one. Yeah, it's my entire internet going down. It's not my computer or the stream or anything like that. It's just the internet keeps going off and on. Not exactly sure why, like I said, but anyway, we just have to deal with what we've got. And at this point, I'm definitely into the hood-mounted mirrors. We could just go for one, and that would be, I mean, that would probably work. Put it on this side of the car. It's just those extra details. Let's go ahead and try. What's your internet provider? Just look up the two potential internet providers that you can get in Canada, and then just go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, because we only have two choices. At least here. At least where I am. Okay, let me see. So we need some like suitably old mirrors if we're not going to go for ones that just come straight off of the hood like that. So these ones here would probably work as well. This is probably a bit better a look, but the ones on the actual hood look kind of funny as well. There we go. We can probably just get away with that. Chrome headlight wipers. Headlight wipers are a very interesting idea. Never thought about that. Could totally do that for a car. Hell and Rogers. I mean, they're both kind of hellish at times, but we shouldn't say any bad things about them because, yeah, we don't want to curse the stream any more than it's already cursed. Is the provider's location government regulated? I don't know. I'm not too well versed in like internet providers and services in that way. It's more just like what we have here, and it's pretty much dominated by Bell and Rogers. So you really only get two choices. You could go for Telus or like an Xfinity. I think somebody mentioned before, but that's more rural internet. Yeah, where I am, which is in the city, it's pretty much just Bell and Rogers. Like you could get Virgin. Somebody's mentioning, but the thing is that Virgin is Bell, and a lot of these things are just pieces of like the two main companies. They're just like spin-offs of them. And Freedom Mobile is a bit of a joke, as somebody was saying there. But anyway, so let's continue on with the build. We're talking internet providers now that, well, now that things are getting a bit out of control. At least we're back into the same kind of place that we were in before. In that case, just being that the internet is actually working. Now, we could do a big sunroof or something on here. This is a bit of a rally limo considering it's, well, it's really tall. I was thinking about doing a sunroof, but the last time I tried doing one, it did not work out so hot in Beam. The texture on the roof turned out really weird, so I might avoid doing that, even though it is kind of something that would fit this. Is there anything else that we should add before we move on to the rest of the build? Somebody keeps saying a gas cap. There's literally one right here. So don't worry about that. We got that covered. So we need badges for sure, but other than that, what do we need? Chrome bumpers that you could stick on the sides that doesn't stick out too much. Fog light on the grill, sunroof only on soft top. That would be interesting. Split the grill in two. I mean, I could try that just for fun. The grill is pretty easy to place, so if we do this and then do this, we could do a BMW looking grill if you really wanted it. That's not bad, actually. It's unique. I'll give you that. We're almost like it was a Lincoln, now it's a Jag. Now it's kind of a BMW-ish. I do like that suggestion though. Thank you for that. That has worked out pretty nicely. You need a steering wheel. Uh, Automation has no interiors. I hate to break it to you. Unfortunately, we cannot steer legitimately. Fog lights, flag on the roof. Ooh, flag on the roof. Interesting suggestion. Chromed chrome with extra chrome. Black roof. We could do a. Can we even separate the color on this car? I'm not even sure. Put a logo on the trunk. Oh yeah, true. We should end up doing that. We tried antennas and they didn't quite work. Put the Canadian flag on it. This is not a dictatorship, thankfully. Before I forget, though, I am going to add at least one of these, even though I'm not happy with the color choices. We should have at least one antenna on the back. Fog lights on the grill. Looks like a stretched 5 series. It kind of, I don't know, this is just a weird combo of every possible car at this point. How would those headlights that sit on top of the hood look? Not particularly good, to be honest. The chrome headlight wipers to wave off peasants. Okay, you know what? Because you suggested that before, and I do like that idea, let's give it a shot. So we'll try these chrome headlight wipers here. We can... Oh, thankfully, with mirroring, we only have to do one side. So we'll just shrink them down a lot. Twist them up. Actually, they would start down, wouldn't they? Oh, wow, these are really tiny. Oh, okay, didn't lock the fixtures. My mistake there. We'll put these on the second layer. Twist them back. Shrink them in. Then duplicate. There we go. So now we actually have headlight wipers. They're very hard to see, but they do exist. Yeah, tiny details that matter. Alright, so we kinda need something on the back. Lock your fixtures? No, I refuse. Yeah, I know, I should lock them. Okay, we need to check the flags. Now we do have a few options here to display our country's pride. We could get really gaudy and just put them like massive on the back or something like that. Just like pure nationalism. But I don't really want to do that unless we need to. You can see that it does 100% work though. We could do this. Oh, oh boy, this is like a redneck limo now. That's what we've come to, redneck limo. Okay, if we change that for this flag. You know, that isn't horrible. It's not, don't forget an exhaust. We have exhaust, so we're good there. The car rally limo. Oh, yes. Cover the entire car in flags. We could 100% do that, but let's not get too nuts. See, what I would love to be able to do is just place a regular flag on it. But what I think we're going to do instead is we'll just put just small country flags near the flags where they're supposed to be. I'll just mirror them as well because I'm lazy. Doesn't look too bad actually. Add an antenna. We have a lot of antennas. You might want to see the 5 of them that are on there. Make it pink. Oh no, the bad suggestions are incoming now. People are getting a little bit too crazy. So we have the dog on the front of it, but we still need a name for this thing. I'm thinking calling it the oh no, we need a good pun for the name, don't we? But before we do that, well, let's put a name on the engine first. Big block 9+ liters. And then it's gonna be the 400 horsepower variant. 1. There we go. Add another gas cap. Do we really need more? 27 gas caps. Oh, geez. The people's car? You know, the people's car is not a bad name for it. Let's call it absolute power. And then, lead supreme. Absolute power, lead supreme is here. Frankenstein, I mean, that is an option. I'm liking the way that this is looking though. Let's I mean, we can't add too many letters to this, otherwise it's gonna take 4 years to put them all on. I have unfortunate experience with that. Where are those letters I like to use though? Have they disappeared? No, they're right here. Perfect. So we have a plate on the front. Actually, we have no plate on the front. We should probably add one just before we forget. Or just before I forget, I should say. It'll help fill up the space down here as well. And unfortunately... Okay, never mind. We'll just put that like that so it kind of sits flush. A little bit nicer. Lead Presidente, the macho. Absolute power kind of works out well for me. So we could do that like classic thing where they put the badge on the headlight, or the taillight I mean. Although it's kind of funny that the taillights are currently just a little broken as they are kind of breaking through the body itself, so hopefully that doesn't translate to beam, although it's probably going to, let's be real. Let's just add some fancy script to it. Alright, so we do have a few options for letters. These ones are extremely fancy to the point that I can't even read half of them. So we've got a P. Let's just write Supreme on the back of it as we invoke our inner desire to buy expensive clothing. And it's got to be large as well. Oh yeah, we can change the colors of these as well, which is nice. Plaster the name across the back. We're going to try and have some class, okay? Even if everything is spelt incorrectly, that's part of the class. Part of the charm. I'm almost tempted to spell Supreme incorrectly on purpose, just as like a bad translation. Oh yeah, I probably should have recolored these before putting them down. That was a minor oversight on my part. Oh well, just a bit of extra work. Not that big a deal. Okay, so what color do we want these to be? The answer is always chrome. And thankfully it looks like they are already chrome. So we've got these lined up. Just gotta line up the rest of these letters. And Supreme on the back. Oh wow, that's actually way off. Goodness. The S and the P and all that are a little bit too high. It seems to kind of go up slightly on an angle as it goes up. Probably wasn't put in place by the actual manufacturer. Let's be real. Chrome door handles. We could probably go chrome for these. Yeah, you know what? We probably should just to add to the chrome of it. This is actually a proper looking car. I'm surprising myself with that. The gas cap is kind of awkward. We could put that at the back, as somebody had previously suggested. And then we could put this in there. I don't know. That actually looks even more awkward than that did before. Yeah, we'll just leave it and kind of forget about it. Yellow headlights, not going to be working out for this one. However, I'm pretty content with the way that this is going. Chrome paint job is out of the option for now. Let's go ahead and move on with this one. We'll try it on a beam for a bit, and then we'll do one more build, which will probably go a lot quicker, because it's going to be based on your suggestions. So let's go ahead onto the drivetrain. So I already started some of this, as you saw before. We're going rear wheel drive. Cough, cough. We're going rear wheel drive, advanced auto 4-speed, and it's anticipating 250 kilometers an hour, although it's an absolute death mobile at that, I can guarantee. So let's go ahead and just kind of skip through a lot of this. Open diffs, of course. We're not going to go for the chunky off-road tires. We do not want to just die immediately. So let's try and go for some large width ones instead to try and compensate. We don't want the wheels to be too far out either. 15s work, and the size of them actually looks perfect. I'm doing this based on looks and not on like actual good specs, and that's definitely something to keep in mind. We'll just pretend that the wheels are alloys, might lighten it up just a little bit. And then, well, let's put these up to 220s just so we have a little bit of traction. Actually, 215s. Cross-ply tires? No, 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 I don't want to die, okay? We want to keep this thing on the road, at least to a small extent. Now, braking at max load is currently negative 34%. Good lord. Okay, let's go solid discs on the front and solid discs on the back and make them large as they can be. They're going to be 300 on both, apparently, which does work out for me quite nicely. Let's just turn this up a little bit. Seems like somebody moved a chair upstairs, so please ignore that. Okay, we have a lot of uplift at high speed. I made that mistake mentioning it the opposite in one of my videos previously, but we'll just leave that how it is. Don't worry about it. We don't need to be flying too much, although we are going to be flying a lot. So yeah, we have a full interior with handmade luxury, and in terms of safety, we'll go hydraulic just to keep this thing alive, and basic 60s safety that basically just affects weight and nothing else. So hydropneumatic suspension is interesting. That'll work out well for us. If I go for a race preset, it's not gonna really, I mean, this is a very comfort preset car now, isn't it? Now, I don't like using the comfort preset because it's so wobbly. Like, I used it on one of my builds previously and the thing was an actual boat, but this is literally a boat, so it's probably going to be okay with that. The ride height is as low as it can go, and let's check out our detailed statistics. Oh boy, 67 liters per 100 kilometers. Somebody convert that into imperial for those who need it. But yikes, that is horrific. That is horrible. Just to give you some context, my 03 G35, which runs premium and burns oil, it gets 10 liters per 100 kilometers on a good day. This thing is 6, almost 7 times worse. So that's not exactly good. Either way, the supreme absolute power. Let me just make sure that everything's good on the gearing end before we go too far. Seems like we can get a little bit faster. Wheel spin is not too much of an issue. We can probably move that up just a little bit. I don't care about these graphs very much, but I'm pretty happy with the way that this thing has turned out. Are we ready to take it over to Beam? I think so. It's going to be total wobble-matic suspension, as somebody has said. Do you know if there's a mod to make a literal bicycle in Automation? So you can't have anything with 2 wheels, so it would be a 4-wheeled bicycle, but potentially. Alright, let's go ahead and export this thing, and we'll take some beauty shots of it before we go too far. We gotta put this in the thumbnail, along with the other vehicle as well, whenever we get to that. Yikes, it's so tall. It's gonna be the most wobbly thing ever, but it's gonna be fun. 3 MPG, that makes a lot of sense. The dual tank, we probably should have added that. That's probably the worst fuel economy vehicle I've made. We'll have to check the Rhino to see if it's actually worse, but yeah, that's pretty bad. 67, goodness. I do anticipate at some point making a build that is made to be the worst, so we'll see how that goes when I actually try it. Okay, let's go to a quick... oh boy. I don't even know. 90s studio? I just want to take some pictures of this thing so we can move on. Not the example level. Some of these ones are extremely laggy, so we'll attempt to avoid that. Huge factory. I mean, a factory industrial complex does make a lot of sense for where this car would actually be. Except not in the staff section, that's for sure. Small factory. What? Never mind. We'll just go to the white mirror. That's the easiest place to take pictures. We'll snap a picture of this lad and we'll move on. That front is really good, but the whole car by itself just looks so awkward. This is how I take thumbnails, by the way. The ones I've been doing lately are pretty much all taken in this section, and then I just take a 4K screenshot. And then I'll do it a couple more times, and then that'll be that. And I think the screen might have gone blank, but I'm apologizing for that ahead of time. Seems like when you take a picture, it kind of messes with OBS, so we'll just have to reset anyways. Didn't anticipate this happening, but I mean, do we really anticipate this happening? This limo? This thing is quite an interesting car. Alright, I'm just gonna move it on over to Beam, and then we'll continue on. So what should we do with it in Beam? I probably should have asked that before. It doesn't have a tow hitch or anything like that, so we can't do... I mean, we can't try and tow stuff. Don't worry, I'm just starting up Beam. It seems like automation kind of messes up when you try and take a screenshot and you're recording with OBS at the same time. What is my PC spec? I have an AMD 3900X and a 2080 Ti. Those are the basics. There we go. Alright, where shall we enslave first? Shall it be the desert? Shall it be the industrial site? Are we touring Italy? You know what, let's go on a tour of the West Coast USA. Try drifting, try dragging. Oh goodness. So I usually have to turn down Beam a little bit when I'm editing, so I'm going to just turn it down a little bit now, ahead of time. So immediately somebody suggested Pikes Peak, and I'm getting worried for my safety at this point. We might have a bulletproof limo, but it's not going to help when you fly off a cliff. Let me see. Did it export or did it not? Because if it didn't, I'll quickly fix that, and if it... oh no, there it is. Pretty sure we should be good to go here. I haven't tried it yet. I'm not using the wheel for this stream, just back again after an internet death, it would seem. Internet death round 14. Okay, we're not quite at 14 yet, but it would be sad if I was out for good. Thankfully, I'm not. We're back up again. A lot of F's in the chat. Half the viewer is gone, but hey, we're back. You know what? My internet is actually good on most days, but it just kind of dies sometimes, and today is one of those days. It's frustrating, but it's kind of what I have to deal with here. So unfortunately, the limo, when you really go at it, is a bit of a wheel spin beast. I haven't actually tried it very much, and it's already pulling hard to the left, so something's gone wrong with it. Oh, you know what? The steering is not working. Wait a second. Okay, so I think we've discovered an immediate issue with this mod, and that is if you turn the steering too much, the limo itself will not like it won't recover. Basically, if you turn like this, it'll just snap the steering rods, and then the limo breaks, and then you can't steer anymore. No idea why that is, but that's gonna limit our abilities here, unfortunately. Let's I'm not on a keyboard, I'm on a controller, so I can do slight turns to the side instead of just going all the way. Okay, let's go ahead and do that burnout that people are asking for, and then unfortunately, because we can't turn, we're kind of limited. But we'll try and do some straight line events, if we even can do those. We'll try to take some corners in a slow way, but I don't think we're going to be doing Pikes Peak without any steering. I just feel like that probably isn't going to go too well. Yeah, you know what? One thing that would be fun to test with this, because this fuel economy is so bad, is how long it'll last. Oh, the brakes are actually decent. There's a slight burnout for you. But yeah, the brakes are actually not too bad. However, the steering is 100% trash, and it seems like that might be potentially my suspension choices issue. Yeah, I mean, it does have power steering, but we can do a real sweet burnout there. That's a little bit worse than I thought it might be. It just means I'm gonna have to reset every time I try and do something dumb. Or in this case, anytime I try and go hard to the left. Okay, you know what we're gonna have to do? Oh yikes, okay, it's immediately broken. Let's push this thing up against a wall and then give that a shot. Or we'll go down into an area that's a little bit less hilly, and then we'll try it. The jumping in this, though, is not bad. Like, if the steering was fine, then we could do some racing for sure. The comfort preset is a pro off-road preset just hidden there. And my light idea kind of works there. You can kind of see it working. Kinda. Okay, let's see though. Let's wedge ourselves up against something and then attempt to do the world's greatest burnout. We don't have the Hunicorn at our disposal, so we have to use this. It's the Huning Limo for days. So I'm just going to put this thing up against this pole, and you get that one wheel peel. That's pretty much a burnout in this car. Unfortunately, we can't really, like, I don't think Beam simulates tires to the extent that we hoped it would, at least not yet. But we are overheating the car by doing this, so it is a glorious send no matter what. Let's just leave it. We've got smoke coming from both ends. And it's still driving, surprisingly so. I don't think anything actually got damaged during that burnout event. We may as well go test this thing out, though, and crash it into something. The auto gearbox, okay, no, there's a lot of smoke coming out of the back now. Apparently we might have just blown a head gasket or something. It's pulling really hard to the right, but I'll just try and deal with it for now. We've got to see where this goes, see how long we can last. And the answer so far is not very long. See, that's the curse of the open diff with our one wheel peel, but it also makes it a little bit more fun. It just means it's hard to do a decent burnout with the car. Okay, so we have one wheel that turns and one wheel that doesn't. Never mind, now we have two non-turning wheels. Well, we'll just kind of go with the flow then. We'll just go where the road takes us, and in this case it looks like we're going up a hill, because I have lost control completely. You know, it'd be a good place for this thing though. Even though the front axle has been completely ejected, the engine still goes. Let's just quickly reset ourselves down here again. Try and round that corner in a fashionable manner. Somehow we have to run from our oppressors, right? We have to run away from those who may decide to chase us. This is our presidential escape limo as well. So we do need to be able to do some sort of drag race against any attackers to just run away as fast as we can. Okay, stay on the course. We gotta get to the drag strip somehow. It is my life's goal at this point. We may as well take something a little bit more dangerous if we can't get there with this. Okay, that was a bit of an unintentional hit there. Did not mean for that to happen. I know the drag strip is generally in this direction. We're obviously not going on a very direct route there at this point, but we're trying our best, okay? Not really. Threaten the steering until it begins working. I think we may need to just send this steering's camp, or send this steering's family to a slave camp, a work camp, and then maybe that'll help. Okay, we're just gonna fly over there for the, I don't know, we'll use our presidential helicopter. Just fly over to the drag strip. It is right over here. It is going okay right now, except for the unfortunate steering issue. This limo is pretty sweet. There we go. Let's just drop the thing right here. I'm just going to spawn a new one. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and try this thing on the drag strip. Let's go against something of equal incompetence. I mean, equal abilities. Let's just try this thing on the drag strip versus, let me see, what is comparable to this in terms of speed? Okay, no, never mind. Automatic gearbox screwing us up. We gotta try that again. At least in this case it won't involve any steering, so we probably can succeed at it. Oh wow, okay. We're probably gonna get a burnout off the line as well, even on this much better gripping surface. Okay, apparently that's not gonna work either. Come on, game, let's do a drag race. Okay, never mind. We'll just set our own drag race up for now, and then maybe we'll have to reload to get back into it. So we'll start in neutral, rev the thing up, and then who bets that we actually keep traction off the line? I'm gonna guess that probably doesn't happen. And oh, it bogs down at the start for sure. Automatic is not doing us many favors here. I mean, it's not that slow. It can get up to 100 and, well, let's see, 150 down here. Maximum speed we've reached so far is probably going to be, I don't know, 180, maybe? Yeah, 180. That's about as good as we can do across the entire drag strip. And now you get to see what it looks like on the underside. I just noticed that the drive shaft is like 5 meters long. No in between. That can't be good for power loss. But I guess it is a limo, so what can you expect? Okay, let's try that one more time and see if it'll allow us to do a... I think I might be technically still in a drag. Oh, yeah. So we'll go with the... Oh, it just did it again, didn't it? You can get a two-wheel peel out of it if you do it like that. Oh, that's a good burnout. And then onto the sticky surface. That was actually pretty decent. Okay, let's try that one more time before we pack this thing in. And then I think we'll be able to try out one more vehicle before the stream is done. How do you fly around like that in Beam? If you press Shift-C, you go to free camera, and then you can move yourself around. Pretty easy. Just look up the controls, and you'll see what that like translates to in your context. Okay, so what I did before there was... Okay, let's get this burnout over with. Because this is the burnout pad, you're supposed to be able to burn out here, so it's a little bit less sticky. So what I was doing was I was in drive but holding down the brakes as well, and it's kind of just building power. At least it's trying to. And then once you take off, it'll do a two-wheel peel. Kinda. And then we have a bit of speed going into the drag strip, so we can actually have traction. This thing gets really hot though when you get on that, the throttle. Like, the cooling is not quite as good as it could be. Oh, it does have a sport mode, you're right. Well, I guess that's what I get for going advanced auto. But it does only have 4 gears either way, so it's not like we're going too far. The limo itself, though, reasonably strong, at least the cabin area. And unfortunately, the steering is broken, but everything else, I would say, is pretty much flawless. Even its ability to clip through a fence. Anyway, let's go ahead and make something else, and then we'll, I don't know, try and drive that. Hopefully it's not broken. Try and make the lights a little bit better than these ones. I did not anticipate them coming out that clear. Maybe we'll try a different lens color. Either way, though, I'm pretty happy with this one. It's a pretty decent car. At least in my opinion. What do you think? Alright, let's move on. So somebody is asking what the horsepower of that thing was. It was 400. 400 horsepower, 9.5 liter V8. Just a little big. Just enough. Oh, finally back. Goodness, I thought that one wasn't going to come back. Well, I'm sorry everybody again. It appears that something has broken in my network. Either way, I'm back again. It seems like every time it disconnects, I have to just restart the internet. So maybe it just needs an update. Either way, I left the BeamNG, went into automation, so it was a pretty good time for that to happen. But we are back once again. So, we've got about, I guess, under an hour, because I need to work on something else after this, but let's make something quickly. Let's make something with a lot less detail. What should we make? The first suggestion I see is a square van or a Huna wagon. Oh man, well, let's pick something that's actually going to drive this time, because I want to drive something that'll work. So preferably a non-mod body. Drag van. Why don't we do something like just totally stupid? I guess drag van would fall into that category now that I think about it. So we could just, let's see, what else do we have? Oh, let's, car that can tow the moon. Drift van. I'm seeing a lot of van stuff. Let's do this pickup truck. Something that I've never touched before. We'll just move on up to 2020 so we have the most options available. How the heck did I get into the 30s? Okay, back again. Here we go. 2007, I think that one was. Yeah. Okay, we still got it. So we're going to use this pickup truck. What should we turn it into? Or should we just decide that on the way? I'm tempted to just go carbon fiber, monocoque carbon fiber, just like the best possible stuff. Because that could be fun. Ferrari van is definitely an option. We've given it a really good base, even without the full quality. That's just really high quality ingredients, as you might want to put it. So we need an engine for this thing. Let's just quickly see what we can fit in there first. So a V16 of even the largest size, actually the smallest size will fit. We're not going to do front wheel drive though, probably all wheel. It seems like the V16 is very temperamentally organized here. You can only really fit a, what is this, like a 6 liter? No, a 5.7 liter V16 would be the max size. That's pretty big. Massive V6 death trap, no safety. Largest four-cylinder? Pistons gotta go suborbital? Oh no. Massive boxer? Oh geez. Boxer no turbos. See, we didn't do turbos last time, so I was thinking we go turbos. So if we do a boxer, say a boxer 6, we can actually... we can go full-size boxer. We could do an 8-liter boxer. See, an 8-liter boxer would be absolutely nuts. That is just ridiculous. You know what would be good as well? It's too bad we can't put it in the back. Like we only have front engine options for this. But it'd be so funny to have like a rear engine boxer truck. That would be really cool. Should we try and do a an 8.1 liter boxer 6 single turbo? Well, if it's a boxer, it's going to be a dual turbo. It's going to be a twin turbo. Oh yes? Okay, fine, we'll do it. Let's do dual overhead cam with a 5 valves per cylinder. Or we could drop down to 4 to be a 24 valve. The best of the best of the best. We got to do some serious power in this massive flat 6, basically. Let's do lightweight titanium, and we'll do forged internals. I'm not going to raise the quality up yet, but that is very tempting to do. Turbos, of course, of course, of course, and then we're going to move on to injection. Like when you're building a high performance car, it's really easy just to put on the best stuff. And yeah, this engine's looking a little bit nuts. Do all cast parts. Oh geez. Dual exhaust, of course. And then we're probably going to want this to be huge. That is 6 inches if you're trying to convert 150 mil. No catalytic converters, no mufflers. Who cares about that stuff? 1,000 horsepower, and we haven't even tried tuning it yet. I'm kind of hearing this. This is going a excellent direction. Let's move this up, and immediately we're into knocking. 140 horsepower because of that. Obviously, the compression is too high for our turbos. There we go. 1,380 horsepower with a non-mountainous curve. That's not too bad. Carburetors plus 15. Oh, a lot of suggestions here. I like it. So we've got, well, we're up pretty high in the RPMs. If we wanted to try and do 12,000 RPM, we'd definitely need full quality everything. And we'd end up making a lot less power for that goal because, I mean, you can see here we're breaking pistons at this point just with the high stroke. So we probably wouldn't be able to do a max size, although we can try it. Bottom end here, quality. I mean, it would work, but the RPM isn't exactly good. Yeah, that doesn't really do too much for us. Max boost or no boost? Yeah, no, if we're... You know what? We gotta commit to something before we go too far here. Should we try and do max RPM? Because if so, we need to lower this down, like lower the stroke down, I mean. So it's got to be a high bore engine. And then we're going to need to turn up this and then turn this up. And still, we're getting a significant amount of valve float. It's still pretty high in the RPMs as an engine. We definitely need this, though. Make it crazy. I mean, we are kind of going crazy right now. Let's just go back to the maximum size. We'll throw away the idea to do 12,000 RPM just because it's probably not going to work out for us, and it'll be a lot easier to not do that. And we'll instead just go ahead and do, I don't know, medium RPM. 7,000 is already really high. It needs to be an 8-liter. Don't worry, I changed it. I guess I'm a little bit behind on the chat. Either way, let's turn this thing up. Let's get some big power going. We got turbos, twin turbos, race preset, and we need to be cranking up the size of the intercooler significantly. We're not making quite as much power as we could. 1400 horsepower is decent, but obviously we can do better than that. Let's start tuning this thing. So if our VVL is high, then our cam profile should be low, generally how it goes. And we're slightly knocking, so we'll turn down compression again. This is all about that careful balance of what makes the most sense for us. You can see the bottom end is kind of moving around a little bit as I do this, which is good because then our VVL controls the top. But we're up to 1500 horsepower. Okay, knocking again, lower that compression. And ooh, I saw 1583, yikes. We can flatten down the curve a little bit. There we go. And then, well, we're pretty much at the max of our fuel in what it can take, so this is in a decent spot, so we'll leave it there. And up goes the fuel, obviously, to try and make a bit more power. With the fuel up this high, we can also up the ignition timing and the RPM just a little bit as well. We'll probably end up upping the quality to fix this, but yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. This thing is already over 1500 horsepower. We're up to 1700 horsepower right now. Like, think about it as though it's an 8-liter boxer. Like, that is massive. It should be making massive power. 1700 horsepower there. That's pretty decent. Why don't we just turn this up all the way? And then we'll get this compression moving as well. Oh, yikes. This is going to be a high compression turbo engine. Not exactly what you'd want, but interesting. See, making it usable is definitely fun. Oh, the compressor is way too big. Let's see though. Better AR ratio, more boost. More boost is just killing it. So with the fuel up all the way, we're gonna have to lower down compression if we want to do high boost. So let's do that. Let's lower down the compression and we'll tune the turbo. I'm kind of dying right now. And then we'll try to make a bit more power. I'm almost thinking we're getting more power with better compression instead of just better boost. Oh, there we go. 1800. Oh, yikes. Okay. 18, 19. That's pretty nice right there. 1820. Keep in mind this is without any quality sliders as well. Although I'm going to increase the quality sliders a little bit. Oh wait, never mind. This is at plus 15. Okay, we're gonna... you know what? Let's just do it. We need all the RPMs we can get. Okay, never mind. It's breaking. Never mind. Undoing my decision to take it to the furthest of extents. There we go. That's not too bad. We can live with that kind of braking, can't we? 2 bar, no bar. Yeah, no, I'm using half metric, half imperial, just because it makes the most sense to me. So that's why I have 1800 Newton meters and 1830 horsepower. I like the way it's going though. Like, the boost is pretty high. We can't get too much more out of it without just like reaching the limit. Where we're at 2 bar, which is a lot of boost, and there isn't much more we can do. Exhaust isn't doing anything. Obviously we could tune it to get more power, but I'm actually pretty content with this. I think that our 1833 horsepower is going to get us what we want. So this thing is going to be carbon, keep in mind, so it's extremely light, and that means, well, it's going to be ridiculously fast whether we like it or not. Let's go with a different color this time. So some people suggested like lime green. What do you think this time? Should we go lime green? Should we go fluorescent yellow? Pink, orange, something like that? The last car was very subdued, so this one's got to stand out. I think we're going to go low and slow on this, by the way. Like, this look is sweet. We could totally get away with like a I hardly ever use red just because it's the default color of the game. But, oh, fuchsia or something like that? Ooh, that is horrific. Do you want to hear the engine? Yeah, we'll save that for Beam. I guess we could try it. I actually haven't used the engine for like the engine noise thing for a while, just because I always test it in Beam. Thank you for the donation, Nate. Can you do a chrome paint job? We could do a chrome paint job. We could do it as simply as just picking chrome and then picking a color of chrome, but it looks horrifically bad in Beam. So I think I'm going to stick with the paint, but I'm going to do high flake. Actually, we'll do medium flake, just so we don't totally ruin it. But these like dark purple colors are not bad at all. Make it navy blue, bright purple, Ferrari red. Oh no. Pink, yes. Chrome. Fuchsia be looking pretty fresh. Yeah, I think some of these pinks are kind of working for me. Just some of the default pink colors. That pink is not bad as pinks go. We could also do different colors for different things, obviously, too, so we could make it have black bumpers or like an off pink color. We could make this the most hideous possible car ever, but I don't know. Do we want to commit too hard to that? Barbie car style? What do you think of the two-tone blue? I'm almost down to do that as well. Oh, okay, never mind. Undo that. Okay, so if we paint the bumpers, I almost said pumpers. If we paint the bumpers blue and the side piece blue, that is like, yikes. And then what we can also do is extend the back of this out to make it bigger. Then what other options do we have? We have this. Oh. You know, I almost like the way that this is looking. Like, this is a very unique car. And it's gonna have zero weight in the back. But what a unique vehicle. No crash resistance at all either. Like, if you take away this piece, it's just, yeah, your legs get cut off basically. People saying yes, people saying oh no, people saying a combination of the two. What if we paint the wheels that color? Does that make you wonder about my sanity? Now we gotta paint the inside of the bed too. We could just go for a nice straight black, which actually doesn't look too bad. Or we could potentially paint that blue as well. This is getting a little bit vibrant, to say the least. And of course our brakes, we may as well paint those black. Different color, please stop. I'm not done yet. I will torture you until the end with this. Okay, now let's put some fixtures on it. I like the way that this is looking. As awkward and horrible as it is, just compare this to the previous car, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Now, we do have twin turbos, and we gotta show those off somehow. So we're gonna use turbos as our exhaust, but unfortunately, this is a flat hood, so we're gonna be sticking them out of the sides like this. It just makes the most sense in this case. Although it does kind of cut that out a little bit more than I would like. Let's see. Come on, thing. Maybe if we turn these to the side, it'll look a little bit nicer. Okay, they do not want to be turned to the side at all. There we go. So if we stick these out the side like that, then we're very obviously, showing our sweet twin turbos. You're not Shiny Odd? No, I am definitely not. I can't make cars like he can. Those are true works of art. However, I can put my own spin on things. And that is basically what I'm attempting to do right now. Okay, what I'm thinking though, I want to use these turbos for something. So, as laggy as they are, despite all the things that are going on, let's put them in the back window. So we have turbos also functioning as stacks. Because why would we not? There we go. So we got turbo stacks, and we'll totally make those that color. The pink is pretty nice as well. Gotta darken that size up a little bit. It's kind of weird just to go crazy on this, but oh yes, I like it. The intakes makes literally no sense at all, but it's perfect. Okay, let's just do like there are these like very obvious um details that you can see where it's got these like massive things on the side, but let's do some just small things that are also bad. Like say we grab a wiper for example. Where's the wipers? Never mind, I lost them. Rest in peace. Oh, never mind, there they are. Never mind twice. So we'll just put a single wiper on there and have it make basically no sense. It's the small details that count. Perfect. The windshield is actually sloped forward, which is not exactly helping our cause. Needless to say, we also have a lot of empty space up at the roof, so we've got to fix that somehow too. Before I go too far, I just want to quickly just put the wheels on the car. We're going to go for some good components, but I just want to widen these up so we can get a look at the stance of it. So 295s in the back, and we got to push those out as well. Oh yes, this is gonna look sweet. Let's put some wheels on it too. Hubcaps, that's almost truck rims. Oh please no. Oh no. Oh please. What's the worst possible thing that goes with this really well? Those are actually nice. Surprisingly so. We could also color the rims multiple colors, and I think we probably should. Just kind of like what I did before. What about the soccer ball rims? Oh yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you the soccer ball rims. So you can take these and you can color them multiple different colors, and it'll it'll show soccer ball sort of like patterns on here. Yeah, we'll silently get rid of that before anybody's eyes bleed out. Oh no. Oh yes. Okay, I'm sold on these. I'm sold on those. With those colors, that is just far too perfect. Okay, we need a thick lip on this thing. Let's put one of these on just to kind of complete the look a little bit. That is not exactly how I anticipated that going. Oh yeah, there we go. So just a big lip on the front, that'll help us with downforce. And then we need a diffuser on the back. Off-road light bars, I see your suggestions, don't worry. Where are the diffusers at? Well, we have a few options. Oh, oh yes. Oh yes. So remember when I said that those one exhaust pipe things would be perfect for a drag car? Yeah, I was kind of thinking about this build as we're doing it right now. We're going to need some aero pieces, no doubt about that. So why don't we take that into consideration and just put a couple different modification pieces on here, which may end up causing me great regret in the long run. Okay, we'll get rid of that for now, and we'll just put this here so we can cut out the back, because obviously we don't need that back anymore, so we'll just get rid of it. Yeah, that looks really janky though. It's not quite as, it's a little bit too much maybe, more than I anticipated. Okay, so what I did there was I grabbed one of these, I think it was this one, and we'll just line that thing up just like this. Oh yeah, that's flawless. That is, that fitment is beautiful. And then we can take the exhaust. I think it was, yikes, which one was it? Oh no. We already have exhaust, that's the thing. The exhaust comes out here. So this is just our extra exhaust. Like this exhaust out the front or out the top will actually function. You can see the pipes coming through. So we don't even need that now that I think about it. Yeah, this is 100% a drag truck. Like now that I'm building it, that is what it's for. It has a need for speed, and that is exactly what we're going to be doing with it. So we do have a couple other options as well to completely ruin the whole idea that it is a drag truck, such as putting a Baja style thing on it, although it doesn't want to go in, so maybe not. Oh, oh yes, a couch? A couch on the roof? A couch on the back? It doesn't want to go in the bed. Ah, man, that would be so good if we could put passengers on the back. Oh, well, maybe an actual truck you're actually allowed to do that, but not on this one. That would be so funny, though. Oh, goodness. We can have roof-seated passengers. Okay, no, we don't want to go too far out of the realm of realism. If you can call this realistic in the slightest, which, let's be real, you can't. So apparently that's not going to work either. We'll just have to commit completely to our race heritage here. I'm pretty down with this, though. I like the way this is going. Okay, let's ruin it with some lights. Straight away, I'm looking at the Lamborghini ones. And they are also looking back at me with a vicious temper. Oh, wow, that's horrible. Okay. It's a little bit too perfect. What about these? Too small. Oh. I don't know how I feel about this, but I also kind of love it. The translucent actual cover over those is perfect as well, and the chrome, I don't even want to change it. Like, it's just too good. Okay, what about this though? We can darken that up just a little bit. Oh, we can bluify them. That's not even a word, but I'm using it. Oh, that's real bad, but it's so good. Okay. So we have our turbos up there. We'll probably do a bed-mounted intercooler as well, but we're gonna need to have some cooling on there of some kind, because technically speaking, the intercooler is behind this. Give the van eyelashes. Car in the bed? What does that even mean? Okay. Let's see. This is just like straight out of my imagination at this point. I'm considering that to be not a good thing as well. Oh, this is so horrible. Okay, hold on. Let's change that up just a little bit. Make it slightly translucent. And then we'll shrink those down just a touch. Ooh. Oh, that's almost better. Oh no, that's way worse. Okay, we'll flip those back around. The angry look of it kind of just completes it. Single headlight? Single headlight, please? Oh, okay, no. We're not gonna go that far. At least not yet. Maybe in the future. However, we do need some racing-inspired pedigree on the sides, and the bed-mounted intercooler is definitely a good idea. Although I'm not even sure if we can. People were also suggesting eyelashes. Yeah, this is pretty much what those would look like. Something like this, just along the sides. That is about as awful as you could potentially think of it. Okay, let's give this bed-mounted intercooler a test. We'll see if that's even a possibility. Because the intercooler pieces can be like put into things, so we might be able to do something with that, but we also might not. Again, just gotta find them. Oh, oh, hold on a minute before we go too far. We have some chassis mounted aero that 100% could fit on the back of this. Let me know what you think of that that beauty right there. We may end up changing that, we may end up not, but yeah, that's pretty decent. Do you plan on putting background music on? No, I do not. Main reason is copyright strikes. I don't want to get any, so that's why I'm not doing that. Oh, parachute? Okay, that's the wrong thing. Not locking fixtures is kind of my specialty at this point, but yeah, we now apparently have a parachute as well. Let me just get rid of that. Let's put that down a little bit lower. The big wing connects straight to the splitter just like that, and we have something that is beyond amazing. The accent color, it's perfect. Okay, we'll make those black. That being that color is perfect. Carbon fiber doesn't really work that well. And that just like that. Yeah, I kind of like that look too. Join the Canadian Shiny Odd stream. I'm not trying to rip him off or anything like that. We're just, we're working our own way here in a very questionable way. Okay, where the heck is this appearing? Oh, there it is. So the intercooler is currently in the middle of nowhere right now, as it's inside of the vehicle. Come on. You can do it. Just escape out of the side there. Ooh. Oh. Okay, hold on. I have an idea. If we take an intercooler, can we put it on the back? Because if we can put it on the back, we can make it a lot bigger. I'm losing my voice. Why doesn't that work the way I want it to? Oh, darn. Okay, I'm just breaking the game at this point. There's probably like 5 intercoolers stuck in here. Oh, now it looks like we're okay. Also, there's 0 place for the driver to sit as well. You sit directly on top of the engine. No copyright sounds? I mean, yeah, but also their music is not of my style, so truck platform, let's not use that. Oh, wheel coverings. This, I mean, this could work. It doesn't quite match the wheel arch. It's so good, but it's so bad at the same time. Okay, we'll leave off the wheel coverings. Let's not get too intense here. Where the heck did those arrow bits go, though? That's what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, we do have the option of having a proper drift diffuser as well. That's always a possibility. Okay, let's go ahead and slap some of these pieces on, just because we need to. We need that side skirt on there, otherwise we can't have that proper arrow. That thing's got to be duplicated, of course. That completes the look. Should we flip those around, though? I guess that does make a little bit more sense. That looks pretty good, actually. On this body, that works out really nice. And then we'll go for the Super GT kit. Oh, yikes, I forgot how temperamental this thing can be. That is really finicky. There we go. That's not quite how I envisioned it, but it's working. Oh, that's not bad. I'm basically just trying everything at this point to see if I can get something that sticks. You know what? We'll leave that for another day. And then we'll just go ahead with the front splitter that I was planning on doing. Basically, I like taking these pieces here and just kind of putting them on the sides. I mean, that is kind of what they're for, but we'll just put a few more than you might anticipate needing. We'll just put 4 of them on there. That's how we keep this thing on the ground. Oh, that's just flawless. That is perfect right there. The GT kit can just be side mount dual intercoolers. Not a bad idea. Oh, you know what we do need though? We need a giant scoop on the roof. And also a supercharger. Okay, we're not getting into that yet. Oh, there it is. That's the one. Can we put this? We can put it in the bed, but not very successfully. We could also put it here like this, but it just kind of goes off into nowhere. But we can definitely put this here. Even though this is probably not what it's meant for, It's, oh, am I back this time? Well, back for sure this time, or completely gone once again? Always the game that I'm playing at this point. And we could just slap some anime on there, though. I think that'd be pretty funny. Oh. Am I back? Okay, I think I am back. Thank goodness. Seems like things are still going in and out and in and out, but goodness, what is even happening? Let's I was thinking about doing we didn't do this last time, so why don't we do it this time? Let's we'll just take our wing, we'll move it up to so it's just out of the way so I can put this piece on. Let's just do a big flag of some kind on the back. Our JPEG is definitely going to be standing out here. So if I move it a little bit, then it'll just basically bring itself back. This makes zero sense, but it's oh boy. I don't know what's going on anymore. What has my life come to? Okay, I don't, I almost, let's get rid of that. We'll put something else there instead. Internet.exe has stopped working. Yeah, it's back working now, thankfully. It is very off and on today, unfortunately. I want to test this thing out, and I'm kind of running out of time. So let's go ahead and we'll just slap on the perfect flag for this. We gotta finish this thing off with style. And by style, I mean a very large and completely out of place Canadian flag right next to a giant wing. You can see how well I represent this country to the world. Oh, is it actually going to be that JPEG'd? Please no. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, so if you force the textures to load by duplicating them, then you can actually see what it'll look like in game. So now we have that. No taillights, just Canada. That's all we got. All right, I think we're good to go with this one. Let's give it a name. Freak help, and then the license or the we'll just name the engine Canada. Tree Eater. That works well for me. Oh wow, this is horrible, but it's so good. Okay, let's move on to the drivetrain. So we have the dual clutch 7-speed. We can do up to 369 kilometers an hour. That's pretty appropriate for this. I think we're good here. We'll just leave that for now. We have no graphs yet, but we're going to need the biggest size wheels we can get. I guarantee you that. And I want to make the rims bigger, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't really do anything for us. Carbon ceramic brakes, of course. We'll do 4 pistons all the way around. We'll come back and fix that later. Let's do a downforce skid tray with full downforce and cooling flaps and a bit of airflow on there too. And then we'll just do 1 seat with basically nothing else in there. No safety at all either. Who needs that? Active sport suspension. Actually, let's do standard gas monotube semi-active with a race preset. Okay, let's see what this thing looks like. Oh, geez. Top speed at downforce is too high. We need to raise the ride height just a little bit. And also, we probably have a ridiculous amount of downforce because of our huge wings. So we'll fix that in a bit as well. Okay, we don't have enough brakes apparently, so we can increase the size of those. Oh, please. Please work. Okay, apparently 4 pistons are not enough on the front, so we're going up to 6. That should stop it decently. And we do have actual downforce, which is good. So we'll turn that down because it's bottoming out at top speed. I've had this issue before with cars, and it does actually happen in Beam. And then wheel spin. Oh, the graph isn't even on the thing anymore. It's way up. Okay, this is what happens when you make something so horrifically bad. Wheel spin of 37%. Let's put more of that to the front, because this thing is more heavy on the front. And what I'm going to do as well, just for the sake of our sanity, is increase the quality of the wheels. Just because we need that. Then I'm going to increase the top speed a little bit over what it's supposed to be able to do. And then we'll lower down the spacing as well. It's going to be a wheel spin beast. Like, it's going to be real bad. That's fine. Not particularly worried about it. Everything else is perfect. Alright, let's export this thing. And then let's try it out in Beam. Let's see if it has the same steering issues that we had before. Hopefully not. It's probably going to be way too good and crash the game. That's my anticipation. Oh yeah, fuel economy on this one is 33 liters instead of 67 like the last thing we made, so just a little bit better. I mean, it's twice as good, but it's still horrible. Anyway, let's export this thing. Oh yeah, I'm not going to take any pictures of this. This will be a surprise for those people who choose to watch the VOD. We're not going to announce this one. No taillights? Yeah, that was on purpose. The flag takes up the places of the taillights. Alright, let's move on over to Beam. Hopefully it doesn't crash my internet again. And yeah, we'll move on there. Oh wait. Professionalism, there we go. You can tell I don't do this too often. It's been a while, as I said. Oh, I'm tired, goodness. It has been a long day, but this is definitely making it better. I've actually been looking forward to doing this since I kind of thought about wanting to stream today. And then the VOD will be up either tomorrow or Wednesday. We'll see how that goes. I might have to edit out all the parts where the, like, internet drops. Anyways, so let's go to the same place we were at before, just because I like the West Coast. Start in the nice default location. And we're going to be ruining the lovely West Coast skyline with this thing. Oh yeah, now you can see what my my true mind is like. Just the most weird creations. I don't know. Sometimes it's fun to just go nuts in automation and make something dumb, but that's exactly what we're doing today. Oh yeah, I gave it a dual clutch, so I'm gonna be oh wow, it's huge. Goodness, I didn't anticipate it being this big. Oh, it's so loud as well. Okay, if that's too loud or too quiet, please let me know. I'm gonna turn it down quite a bit. There we go. It shouldn't be too loud anymore. Hopefully, not deafening too many people here. Yeah, I'd like to stream more, but I don't have time, and it sucks because I do want to stream, but I just can't find the time to, making 2 videos a week and working as well. Either way, let's take this thing out for a huge drift. Oh, it's so fast. Goodness. Okay, this is surprisingly well composed considering how ridiculous it is. Like, all of the weight on this thing is in the front, so that's why it's slightly front bias. Let's check out the headlights. Ooh, that's blinding, to say the least. Oh, this boxer is so loud. I forgot what I called this thing. It's entirely unforgettable at this point. The turbo's overheating. That's not a good sign. It doesn't really turn either, which is also not a good sign. I think the best way to try this thing is to take it to the drag strip and see what kind of time it can throw down there. But see, the problem is we actually have to make it to the drag strip, which, as always, is an issue by itself. Some of the cars I've made, like the one I made before, can't even make it there without flying over in our private helicopter, so we'll take the long scenic route. Oh, it doesn't turn even slightly. I probably should have made the front wheels a little bit smaller. Somebody's asking for the engine specs on this thing. It is a 8-something liter Boxer, Boxer 6. So it is a massive Boxer 6, which is putting out somewhere around 1700 and a bit horsepower. I think it's closer to 18 at this point. Oh, that's a curb. Okay, we're way too low to be able to do anything with curbs. If you really hit it with this, it just takes off, and the turbo overheats as well. I'm very interested to see what it's going to do on the drag strip. Probably going to break something, or me, or I don't know, something else. I really like the twin turbo stacks as well. I think that's pretty funny. But let's try and get over to the drag strip. I believe we can do that over on this exit here. Goodness. We can't stay straight. Ah, there we go. There's the entranceway into the track is over here. We're going to have to drive the track a little bit to get there, but I think that's kind of part of the fun. This thing is definitely not made for that. Okay, here we go. I never enter the track in the proper way. I tend to just kind of ramp off of something to get in there, so don't be too surprised if I do that right now. This little like section here is perfect to just kind of launch yourself into the stratosphere and also slightly miss the track as well. Oh, that's actually pretty good damage on there. Surprisingly so. And it drives still as well. Apparently having the engine in the front is our best call here. Alright, I'm gonna just drive over to the drag strip. Hopefully we manage to stay still alive even though it's so broken like this. The wheel is on an angle that it was not meant to be on. Let's go into sport mode. Oh goodness, that's not great. Okay, we're gonna round this corner. I'm pretty sure this is the way. I mean, I've done this a few times. That's too many gears. Oh, okay, we just lost a wheel. Not like we really needed that anyway. We'll just continue on without it. Three-wheeler, here we go. This is the pro version of the Reliant Robin. This is the faster cousin to that car. I'm surprised we haven't actually broken the engine yet. Like, this is almost a driven to destruction here with something that really should not be driven at all. Oh goodness, stop, stop, stop. Okay, I guess one of the disadvantages is we can only stop with 3 wheels instead of 4. Drag it against the limo? Okay, well, let's see if we can do that. Probably gonna be able to predict who wins that one though. Just placing my bets on the limo. Goodness, if we give this thing a bit of a disadvantage though, like we started off with flat tires or something, we could probably drag the limo. That would be pretty fun actually. Okay, so let's actually do a proper drag strip run this time. Instead of against itself, somebody has suggested we go against the limo. I don't think the CPU is going to actually be able to bring the limo over to the strip, so I'm going to turn that off. So let's just go ahead and give it a try. This is going to be really hard to stage. Because it's got so much power. Give me the pre-stage. Oh, okay, I might have jumped the line a little bit there. But I think okay, the engine just bricked itself partway down the track. Oh, that's about what you would expect there. We managed to do the thing in 7.7 seconds, but that the engine died partway through. Oh, that's just too perfect for it. Okay, I want to try again. Let's face something that maybe might give it a bit more of a challenge. Um, so something that I have that's sort of in that vein of speed would be the Saint Ultra R, equally ridiculous and also just extremely dangerous. Yeah, I'm not really reading the chat too much. Probably should, but again, not too used to the streaming thing. It's been a few weeks. Okay, let's get up in the revs and Saint Ultra R versus this thing, absolutely gone. And then the engine dies and it's gonna catch up to us. Oh no, it didn't. Thank goodness. That was a pretty good showing there. That was not too bad. Somebody's saying Skyline. I don't have a Skyline. Like, if I made one, then maybe, but I don't have anything that really compares to that. I'm still trying to think of something that compares to this in terms of drag speed, but I'm not sure I have anything. Like, this car is just ridiculously quick. Let's see. Let's do a couple more runs, and then I think I'm going to call it. Now, the Spartan Vortex here was made to do drag racing. However, it is pretty garbage. Maybe we can try the Bemero 3.0 as somebody's suggesting there. So that might be a contender against this thing. I'm not sure that the AI is going to be able to drive that car over there. Oh, up in the revs. And, oh, that was a much closer run, actually. It seems some of my previous ridiculous creations. Yeah, like, that was actually really close. I think if I don't... I'm going to try that one more time, and if I don't rev up, I'm probably going to be on par with that in terms of speed. So let's just go up into the line. We'll stay in drive so we won't rev it out. And... oh, it's actually close. Ah, but the van is faster. Until the engine grenades itself. 8.1, not too bad. Okay, let's try and find something that'll beat it. Bemero 3.0, which is this one here. It does stand a good chance, actually. That car is extremely fast. The Group C Al, we could probably try the 2.0 version, but I don't think it's that low on this chart. This is like a grand finale of all my fastest cars versus this thing to try and beat it. Oh, I skipped the line. Oh no. There we go. Oh, it won't start because the Bemero's stuck. Oh, come on. Hold on, here we go. Let's shift this thing into drive. Oh no, I can't control it. Oh, rip. Well, looks like we might have broken things because the Bemero itself unfortunately cannot go through this. It will not pre-stage, or it won't stage itself. So we're gonna have to try that again. Let's reload with another car. Obviously that one isn't gonna work. We might be able to try that one again, but we'll try the lead sled and then we'll try it. And I think the Type 2 lead sled might stand a chance, as it is extremely fast. And then we'll finish off with a race against the Bugo. But the fastest Bugo there is, I think we'll be good after that. Alright, there's the lead sled. That's the extremely high horsepower version. And it did pre-stage, so I think we're good. Ooh, that's really close. Yikes, the lead sled is powerful. But the AI can't control it. Oh no, they just hit the wall right at the end there. That was really funny. Oh, actually, they actually managed to survive that. Goodness. Yeah, no, the AI cannot control that thing at all. Okay, let's just go back. They're attempting to drive it, but I don't even know where they're attempting to go with it there. Let's go back to the start. We'll race the Bugo, but we'll race the fastest Bugo I have, the fastest variation of it, and then we'll see if we can do anything with that. Okay, apparently going hard with this just means broken engine no matter what. But you can brake so hard that you can do an endo on this surface. Okay, let's twist this thing around. We'll get rid of that AI over there, because it's time that we go up against the fastest variant of the Bugo, which I believe is the Bugo 1000, which is, oh, there it is. The Bugo 1000 horsepower. I don't know if this thing is going to be even drivable for the AI, because, well, I mean, they weren't able to drive the Vomero or pretty much anything else that I've driven so far. Can they drive a 1000 horsepower Bugo? It's quite questionable. Oh, it's quick. Oh no, it's not quick. Well, okay, the Bugo kind of got left in the dust. 1000 horsepower, not quite working out for it. At least not this time. That is an 8-second run versus a 13-second run on the Bugo. Not too bad. Well, I guess we can finish off by, I don't know, trying to do some stunts or something just quickly. The engine is currently locked up in this, so we're just coasting around. Gotta reset. You can do an all-wheel drive burnout with this car without even really trying. Like, because of the way that the engine is set up, it just gets extremely hot and then immediately breaks. Like, if you just watch the temperature gauge, as you start to hit the throttle more and more, it just goes up higher and higher until inevitably you hit a wall and then fly through the track and then over a barrier. Oh, not quite. And then back onto the track again. I think that's a pretty good ending to this. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this stream. Thank you for sticking with me despite the issues that I was having with it. That was a very interesting build on the second one there. And the first one wasn't too bad either. My voice is kind of gone, but I think it's time that we start working on the next showcase. Oh yeah, it's going to be good. So don't worry about that. I'll be announcing it on YouTube and on Discord. Watch the Discord announcements if you want to know when that's coming out. It's going to be good though, so I look forward to it. Yeah, thank you everybody for joining, and I'll see you again next time.